I'm not a chick. Why would I order a mirror?
Hello and welcome to episode number 97 of Unrelenting, where all content is show content, even the content that's not the content that goes on the show with the other content.
That sounds like a fair statement to me.
Thank you. He's Gene. I'm Darren. This is Unrelenting. How you doing? It's the last show before the big holiday. Everybody ready for Christmas? Woo!
Hey.
Yes or no? You have
Hey,
all your,
yo.
how you doing? Did you get all your stuff bought?
I think we are currently streaming on X.
Did you wrap everything up? How you doing, X? I mean, Gene's on X, on X. Wow, wouldn't that be cool? You're on X,
Man,
on X.
I love being on X. X is the best. Not condoning drugs, not providing medical advice.
No, we never
However,
do.
if anyone's been on X, you know what I'm talking about.
You know if you know about knowing what you know.
It's a thing.
People have already tuned out. Can I see this on X?
Not, because they should just be tuning into X.
They should be well, you want to get some X, and then you want to tune in. We're live on the Mighty No Agenda stream. We are streaming the bit streams all over the universe.
Streaming the hell out of this thing. Exactly right.
So now when I go to X, I should see that you're on X currently?
You will as soon as I hit the forward button on X to do that.
Ooh. So now this is a part of, I looked at this just yesterday, so it's funny that you're playing with X.
Okay.
I also noticed that Elon has now upped it from $8 a month to 16.
$16 a month, correct?
So by early next year, it'll probably be $32 a month and then $64 a month.
I mean, I think it won't take that long if that's what you're asking.
He's like, Elon needs the money.
Well, yeah, it's he could use some more for sure.
I mean, at least there should be alternate plans. Like if you give us $8, then you only see less ads. If you give us 16, then you see none. If you give us 32, then you can make other people see your ad. Something like that.
Yeah, that's a distinct possibility.
Is streaming live on X now the thing? Like
everybody's doing it.
They have video. Because I see that now live on X. Unrelenting Live. Sir Gene Texas is hosting. Yes.
You see it already. Awesome.
Yeah, well, I was on your profile page, so maybe that helped.
Oh, that would really. I should update my own profile, and then I need to turn it off so it doesn't interfere with the sound that we're actually generating here.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm curious. I just turned it on and I haven't heard any sound. Oh, you know what? The sound's off by default. So that's why I just see video.
Yeah. Well, that's one good thing about X, right? Is that the sound's off by default.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is be sitting there at work and then all of a sudden you get a video of like, and you're like, whoa.
No, ooh-ee.
Don't know where that came from.
I'm sure there's a delay. I mean, I don't know how long it would delay, but I guarantee you there's a delay. But, here's what the coolest part is. When we're streaming on X live, that means listeners can be listening to our show live and then, get this, typing comments in real time
live
that we can then see.
Oh, on X.
Well, yeah, where else?
This is like a YouTube video then, very much so.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Without YouTube?
Without YouTube, yeah, exactly. Well, and I had thought about doing YouTube with my other podcast, but my podcast partner on that had a better idea and said, instead of getting kicked off 5 shows in, why don't we just do it from the start on Rumble?
Because only like 1 out of 5 million people's on Rumble. Much bigger audience on X.
I mean, yes. I get it. I think there may be an opportunity to, but you would literally need to, or I would need to, create a brand new, unassociated to anything Google account.
Yes.
Use that account to create a brand new, unassociated to anything YouTube channel, and then do the show on there. Because
when you do get kicked off.
Yeah, when you get kicked off, what they do is they kick your main account that you've been using for email for a decade off.
They're like, you're bad.
Yeah, you are bad and you lose all Google privileges, including the ones you paid for. Tough shit.
I like that the video is the clean feed interface. And now I am thinking
That's the only thing I could think of.
I should have come up with something way better than Gene to put in for your name today, and that would have been funny.
No, that would not be funny.
They're like, what's it? I don't understand. But people are like, well, this is a visual representation now of who's speaking. We get
This is literally the background, the thing we're seeing. You could see that.
Yes.
I'm just getting into the yellow, which is where I like to be.
And this is exactly what No Agenda has been seeing for years. They've been using Clean Feed for a long time. So when Adam Curry, the Podfather, says John C. Dvorak's head is gone, that just means a big gray box has disappeared. People think it's like so much more on the back end.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they think there's video involved. Hell no.
Although with the amount of bandwidth that everybody has available now, it's not
doable,
crazy to think that you could do that. But like, why would I want to see Gene when I'm doing the show?
I know, right?
Not like it's going to bring anything more to my enjoyment, but I don't understand why the up to $16. And if there was good marketing involved with all of this, this is where you go. Hey, January 1st, we're going to $16. You can still get in on the $8 a month thing right now. That would have driven.
They still have the $8 a month thing.
Do they? Okay.
It's yet another tier. And then there's yet another tier above that at $1,000 a month.
Wait, $1,000 a month?
Yeah, you get a gold check mark.
Does Elon come to your house then?
No. That's the $1 million a month tier.
Oh, well, that's like Taylor Swift could afford that. Nobody else.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
It's X Premium. Right now it says one viewer. So I'm the viewer.
You are. Yeah, exactly. You're clearly not counting me because it's the same IP that's broadcasting.
And I'm saying that your Twitter following is not immense quite yet.
Oh, no. This is I keep saying brand new. It's not brand new anymore. This account is less than a year old because I never got my original Twitter account restored. I ended up just starting a brand new one. And so, yeah, it's very much still in the early phases. And I always forget to tell people to go subscribe to me on Twitch and stuff. So it's like the number of people that are subbed on the Fediverse is much higher than it is on Twitch.
Gene really twitches on X. Let me tell you, he is.
I Twitch on X all the time. That's right. Yeah, I think I have even less subs on actual Twitch, though.
Is that possible?
Yeah, totally.
Let's see.
My YouTube subs are down as well. I mean, it's down across everything, all across the board.
The people on No Agenda Social love that I'm posting links to Twitter because they'll be like, fuck you.
No, everybody uses Twitter now.
And it's interesting.
It's called X.
Yeah, well, but Elon, the link is still twitter.com. So that's weird. The link I generated with, like, share this. Why isn't that already up X.com?
It should be X. Yeah, it should be X.com.
That's horrible marketing, Elon. Hire us. We can tell you what you need to do.
Hey, let me ask you a question while we are looking at the feed here. Do I sound normal sound level as I always do because I haven't touched anything?
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So just
not like it was different.
All
for
blame
the other show.
On Ben for the other show.
Of course,
it wasn't me. It was him. All right, good. We got that out of the way.
Like it's all Ben's fault.
Yeah. I can attest to that.
We have figured that one out. Albie's down right now. That's an interesting thing. I don't like that.
That's not good at all.
Like they'll be back in a moment. Hey, 2 viewers.
And when you say down, you mean they stole everybody's money and ran off?
And are currently gone. Yes, they are. No, that's rude to say. They seem like honorable, honest folk. And we're up to 2 whole viewers on X. This is live, everybody. This is the excitement of live podcasting.
Anybody that wants to actually see us live and in person talking, go to X.
You have to be on X. See, now if the show was big enough,
anybody can watch. I don't think you even need an X account to go there.
You could just go to the link, I'm sure.
You just do a search.
But you won't really see us. 5 viewers. This is multiplying rapidly.
You know what might help too is if I actually go to X and then post the damn thing on even my little handle.
Yeah, but I already did, so most people are never going to notice.
Let me retweet yours then.
They're never going to notice that we're doing anything there.
No.
Now, if the show was big enough, that would be the goal, is for Gene and I to just go city to city, play a little 10,000 seat theater, go out there and waste every right. Well, no, see, Gene would still sit on the stage and order his groceries and
probably
do the whole bit.
I think it's the same. I mean, people love that stuff. Watching me and I'm doing it in a different city every time, that would be something else.
It's a true slice of life.
Right?
Elon wanting more money from us, though. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but It's just like, are you an individual or an organization? And I'm like, hell, I'm an individual. And it's like you have
shilling for 5 different podcasts.
But it's the only thing I see available is $16 a month or $168 a year. I don't see, although wait, that just says premium plus. Is there
right?
Oh, I can scroll. Okay.
As well as a premium plus, as well as like
in basic. Okay, I didn't see the little arrow up on the top that there were different levels.
You may not be able to see the gold level until you buy into the $16 level, and then once you buy into the gold level, then you see the platinum level.
They're like, oh, you've given us money, so now.
That's at least the advice I'm providing to them, just like I did to No Agenda.
It's like enhanced experience for basic, $32 a year, so they even have a cheaper plan now.
Mm-hmm.
You still get full ads, yay. And the fact that you're boost
on the premium plus,
the fact that they're giving you bigger boosting power is intriguing. So this is totally antithetical to the DEI world, who's like, oh no, the poor people, you need to pay for their internet. Oh no, they don't get the same thing as the rich people. Well, here's the fucking thing, people. You want to encourage people to do better. You want to encourage people to become successful. When you sit there and give people everything, they're like, I don't really have to do anything. I can just be alone.
Don't encourage everyone to be mediocre?
No, I do not. I do not.
Then it's weird that your mayor does up there in Chicago.
We're not in Chicago. We're not even in Crook County.
No.
It's close enough to smell it, but no. I love that the governor of Texas was like, oh, you're going to stop buses coming in? We've got planes.
Yep.
Can't stop the planes, can you? No.
Nope.
And then we'll start shooting them down.
Yeah, there's 3,000 people a day coming in though.
It is absolutely.
The majority of them from North Africa and Asia.
And you watch the videos, and I understand there's always the possibility of careful editing, and I don't know if there are different places for different types of people coming in, like meaning, do they separate the families from just the guys? Because you see a bunch of videos like James Woods posted one that's all like 18 to 40-year-old men. Yep. No kids, no women. And I'm like, I don't know if that's fair, because I don't know if there's like, well, if we are rounding people up.
Well, most countries' militaries are made up exclusively of men, so this makes total sense.
Not Israel.
Not Israel. Correct.
Chicks with guns are hot. Just a little holiday tip. But so I don't know if that's completely fair, but yeah, it seems to be there's a lot of single military-aged men coming into the country. And no, nobody should be worried about that.
No.
Without vetting who these people are. It's like, if somebody comes to your door, folks, on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, if I just come to me, you might know. But if a random person comes to your door and like knocks on the door and like, hi, can I come in? Well, who are you? I'm just a guy. You letting him in? Just curious.
I don't think you can refuse them. Doesn't the Constitution say that you have to allow anyone the government says to allow into your house?
I think so.
I believe so.
Like, hi, I'm here for Christmas dinner. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, like, the government said, this is now my house because, you can't have a house this big by yourself. Wait, I'm thinking of Soviet Union. Hold on. Actually, close. I'm thinking of the United States. You're right. Yeah, same thing.
Hey, we're down to 4 viewers. We lost one already, Gene.
Oh, we pissed somebody off.
Gene, the show has already gone down the toilet.
Okay, this is the problem with telling you about my little test, is now you're going to be watching it in real time.
Isn't that the only way you can? Yeah, it's got to see like what's going to happen.
I mean, unlike the No Agenda stream, people can actually watch, not just hear us if they go to X.
Except we don't have video, except your clean feed screen.
We don't, but they can watch the clean feed anyway.
Be such pretty lights going on. It's like Christmas.
What is more interesting than watching clean feed?
Literally anything on the internet.
Okay.
Oh, we're up to 6. Woo! We got more. Now, can you listen to these broadcasts with X? I went on the mobile. Can you just then go on the go and have it in the background and all that?
Yep.
Well, that's interesting. So this is basically Elon going, hey.
It's a YouTube thing. Yeah.
Right. We have YouTube that's doing this. We can do it too.
Yeah. And this was opened up, I think, to everybody, or at least the paying people, fairly recently, because it used to be you'd had to be specially invited to be able to do streaming. Like you could upload little clips and stuff for forever. But if you wanted to do live streaming, you had to be invited. Now I think it's just, it's mature enough a technology that it's opened up across the board.
They're not worried that people might say dangerous things that other people might be triggered by?
Well, I guess not.
Or that's Elon hopes for that. He's like, this is what I'm looking for. Because that's what's interesting.
Well, there's no advertising on Twitter, on X anyway, because all the advertisers pulled out. So nobody can be offended. Because remember, this is the only group that anybody ever cares if they're offended is advertisers.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's where the money is.
This is the main reason why YouTube has such tight draconian policies and things you can and cannot talk about, or the images that you can and cannot show, is because if it's not advertising friendly, they don't want it on their platform.
Correct. Well, that's what Media Matters. They're the ones that took Bill O'Reilly down. They're the ones that tried to take Rush Limbaugh down. Sean Hannity. If you're a conservative, most likely Media Matters has tried to besmirch your good name, if you will.
They tried to take me down, but they couldn't spell my name. So
they're like, we'd like to get this guy, but nobody can spell.
Yeah. That is what it is. So I'm sure you heard by now, because I've posted it and I talk about it on podcast. I'm living through gout.
And I've heard that is not fun at all.
It's not fun. I'm on day 5, which from memory, it usually only lasts about 4 or 5 days. So it's lasting longer than I remember it to be lasting. Maybe my memory is bad. But it usually involves a couple days of continuous, like electric shock type pain in the toes, and specifically on one foot. Now, some people get it on both feet. I've generally only gotten on either one foot or the other. I've not had it on both at the same time, thank God. But after those first 2 days, the actual gout, the cause, the crystals dissolve and are no longer there. However, the damage that the crystals did through friction is now in the heavy repair process. So the body is very much like, repairing all the scratches and things. And what that means is my foot is inflated to about 1.5 times normal size. And it feels like a balloon filled with water or something.
So you're not going to get all those fancy shoes on right now.
Oh, it's the only, I actually do have a special pair of gout shoes.
Well, of course you do. Do you have a gout shoe guy?
I don't have a gout shoe guy, but I did pick up a pair of, in fact, they're Adidas shoes. But
of course they are.
They have a way to completely loosen the front of the shoe there for the toe section to a very wide size. But yeah, so today I have a cardiologist appointment for a checkup, and I was like, God damn it, do I go or not? Because if I don't go, my doctor's going to bitch to me about like trying to avoid going to this appointment, which I was supposed to do 6 months ago.
Now, is the gout in your driving foot or in the left foot?
It's a driving foot.
Oh, well, that's even more fun.
It actually is. I've driven with gout before. Driving is not a problem because the pressure you apply to even the brake is maybe 15, 20 pounds. The pressure you apply to your foot when you're walking is body weight. So significantly higher.
563 pounds.
Yeah, at least, right?
Oh, I mean, really, you have 2 feet, though. Although, there's a lot of time you're only on one. So it's.
You have 2 feet. Well, when you're walking, yes, there are points in time you're on one foot.
Yeah, this is a problem then.
If you're standing, then you're on both feet.
This is a problem.
Either way, so it's basically I'm essentially heel walking to alleviate putting any pressure on the front of the foot. So the one foot is fine. The other foot I have to heel walk on, which is very gimpy. I mean, there's no way to disguise it. I'm going to look like a total gimp on this.
Well, yeah, you're doing the opposite of what Taylor Swift had to do when she snapped the heel off of her boot.
Oh, she was toe walking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dancing, which I don't expect you to dance across a stage.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everybody can still click the Taylor Swift box on the bingo card.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing. You brought that up, so it's important to talk about health issues.
Taylor Swift, audio,
yeah,
podcasting,
hitting
streaming.
all the boxes right now.
Yeah, we are
Exactly.
right in the pocket for the day's show.
I think so. I think a lot of people are a lot more interested in our normal daily conversation topics than one would imagine.
Well, especially when
Why
you bring
else
the
would they
gout
listen?
in.
Oh yeah, everybody loves to talk about gout. It's a wild topic.
It is painful. It is not fun.
No. Now, the good news, if there is any, is that I haven't had any gout issues for about 6.5 years until now, which is a good long time. I used to get it every couple of years, but it's been so I don't know what I'm doing right or wrong.
Right. Is there a magic supplement? Is there a dietary?
The thing that I knew was a contributor to having it come on is eating a lot of nitrates.
Eat a lot
would
of
be
bacon.
Things like canned foods or,
Bacon.
well, yeah, bacon for sure. And liverwurst.
Oh,
And-
yes.
Yeah. So this is the irony. I was making liverwurst 2 weeks ago with a buddy of mine from Deer. We were making deer. Well, I was helping him quarter and prep deer, and one of the things he wanted to do was liverwurst, so we made that. And I was telling him how I used to get gout, and I think it was whenever I used to eat liverwurst. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to try the stuff that we're making, which I didn't try because we were just making it. It's got a cure first. And then a week later, I get freaking gout. I'm like, oh, man, come on.
Now, according just an update here for our live test, Tula says that I am super low audio on X, but you sound fine. So your
You
mixing
are super
skills.
low. Okay, so my mixing.
Your mixing skills are just as bad as dude named Ben.
I can crank you up. I'm sure.
You can yank me. You can crank
I'm
me.
sure I can crank yank you.
Just don't wake me up and don't you thank me.
Give me a level real quick.
Hey, level 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Toast, toast, toast.
All right.
When, of course, of human events becomes necessary.
Let me put the expander on you, and
you got the expander.
You got the expander.
So maybe you messed up Ben's voice. Is that possible?
No. Ben's voice wasn't messed up on X.
Well,
It was just strictly
Ben
on
should
here.
not be on X. Let's just be honest.
Maybe not.
This is
Yeah.
audio live.
Yeah, this is fun times. Fun times stuff.
I mean, I would try to monitor, but then it would be like watching yourself doing something.
No, you don't want to be. No, you don't. Don't do the monitoring, kids.
It's all,
How many dog biscuits should I put you up? 2 dog biscuits, maybe
well, about 3, I would say.
3 dog biscuits.
Isn't that really where you can only start hearing the difference if it's a 3 decibel change? Or is it 3 is a doubling of the
Yeah, 3 is a doubling or a 10xing.
10X? How you doing, everybody?
3 is a 10xing. Okay, on my VU meter,
You have an output VU meter
I
now?
do. I have. And on that VU meter, it's an old analog school one. You are now up 6 dog biscuits.
Woo!
And we are peaking at about the same level.
Well, that is
So-
good. We should be better than has it evened out for
All right.
people checking it out on X as the
people-
audio
now,
quality.
remember, give us 30 seconds for the stream to catch up, and then you can tell us if we're still different levels or not.
That way, for when we start doing this with regularity, and I guess why wouldn't you until they say stop, you're kicked off
Yeah.
X.
Might as well. Yeah.
I like that it just pops up. It's again, this is mirroring to a certain extent what podcasting 2.0 is, because if the podcaster you're following is on X, then
Right.
you get the, hey, they just started a show, so tune in. And then you just press a button and you're listening. So it's interesting that it's kind of going
Yeah.
right down that.
And Tom Tomsky already retweeted that the show's live as well.
Well, Tom Tomsky, thank you.
Yeah.
All the way over in the Netherlands. We are international.
Yeah, look at that. We
Just
have
like
to have
that.
somebody from the Netherlands tell us that we're already or to retweet that we're already on.
We are an
Cool.
international show here. Our biggest donor, Dale from Down Under, comes from a place called
he's
Down
totally
Under.
international.
Yeah.
He's not national at all.
Nope. We are totally international.
Yeah.
Actually, only people outside of the United States listen to the show. If you're in,
I think technically true.
they're in the U.S., they're like, nope, not going to listen.
I mean, yeah, it's like the person that comments certainly the most on our shows listens from the UK.
Billy Bone says these people should all be listening on a modern podcast app instead of X. ModernPodcastApps.com. What are you, Adam Curry shill or what?
Yeah, what are you, shilling for one of those companies that makes the app? It sure sounds like it. Yeah, make a donation. Maybe we'll do that too.
See, now Elon wants everything to be a bank. So you can do, I mean, now I know if you have your Get Alby account attached to your
all
Twitter
I'm missing
account.
to collect money on Twitter, all I'm missing is like 25 more subs.
Well, that is interesting, but also
And as soon as I hit that, then I can start collecting money directly on X.
with Get Alby,
Yeah.
if you add your Alby address to your Twitter profile, I know the Alby software already. The minute somebody opens up your profile page, gets a little pop-up thing like, hey, would you like to donate?
Oh, really? Oh, I can do that. That's easy enough.
It's like that way. It's like just super integrated to what's going on now. Is Elon's system going to take money too? So if you get enough subscribers,
Yeah.
they will allow you to.
Hey, how do the Podcasting 2.0 apps work on streaming that is not done on No Agenda Stream?
You have to have your own Icecast or Shoutcast
So do
stream.
you provide in the feed then that they will read the address of your Icecast?
Correct. So that, like, we did that once when we
Okay.
did a show when No Agenda was on. I just created a secondary stream, and that way anybody that is subscribed to you on a Podcasting 2.0 app will automatically get whatever stream you put in. You don't have to
Okay,
do it on the
that's cool.
same stream.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's cool.
You're just providing the live stream that
I
you're
mean,
using.
it'd be very little effort to just pop up a secondary Icecast stream. That's not a big deal.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that way you can have multiple live shows at the same time. So some people could listen. You know, we could technically broadcast one show that doesn't have your audio as part of it.
We could totally do that. Yeah.
People would be like, this is like just listening to one. And we could just call each side like one side of a conversation with Gene Niftuliv and with Darren O'Neill.
And you can have ask people to comment on what they think the other side of the communication is.
Oh, yes. Enter
Gotta
what
get
you
some
think is.
interactivity going.
That's genius.
Speaking of commenters, so let's see what Adam has to say here. I sent them a video of a helicopter, a brand new cool helicopter.
A
he
brand
says,
new cool helicopter.
I kind of like this. I am interested in getting one of these. But I wonder how much the insurance will cost. Yeah, I think
Lots.
that's a problem with small size, like 4-man helicopters. Is your hobbyist class helicopter insurance probably ain't cheap.
Yeah, and helicopters, is I am fine getting it. Now, if I fit, I'm fine with small planes. I don't feel like it's an immediate threat of death. Helicopters I don't like. Even
Now,
with,
how small a small plane are you referring to?
I mean, it's, again, a 4-seater, something like that would be fine.
You fit in one of those?
I mean, if I did, I haven't tried, but
I don't think you do.
I wouldn't be afraid of that.
I've been in a very nice 4-seater, like $1 million+ 4-seater, and I barely fit, and my head was hitting the roof the entire time.
That would not be fun.
And you add another, I don't know what's the difference between, it's about 2 more inches, I guess.
At least
And
18
then,
inches more.
I was thinking more like 2, but there's no way in hell you can fit in there.
No, absolutely.
You'd need a biplane with no roof.
Well, see, now that there's something to be said for the fun of that.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
I would totally do a biplane because the speed you're flying is roughly the same speed as a fast motorcycle. And so it's, it's a thrilling kind of air drag. It's not like dangerous high speed air drag.
Yeah, you're not in a fighter jet.
No. It's not like ripping your cheeks out by the air turbulence.
Hey, the little chat thing works.
Oh, it does. You posted something.
I said hi, and then Tula said hi back. She's out here near the Chicago area. Has a company that does these cool, custom wrap cups, kbperks.com.
Custom what now?
wraps around like mugs and cups and all sorts of different things.
Really?
We should get some unrelenting gear made
We should.
because
That'd be
all the
cool.
people that aren't listening would love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the people that don't send us money as donations will love to start buying Unrelenting gear.
Well, you told them not to. So, I mean, to be fair.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
But next
And
year, Gene's
really,
all in on
honestly-
donations next year.
Yeah. But for this year, guys, really, we just need water, blankets, but no actual money.
Well, no, the money would be okay because you could buy water and blankets still.
Right.
And I feel sorry for all those Amazon delivery folk.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't know why you feel sorry for them. It's a good part-time gig.
And it's lots of work. And for even
It
the
is a lot
stuff,
of work. Yeah.
you forget that people still buy all of their normal stuff. Like I was talking to my mom this morning and she's like, I went to blow dry my hair last night and the thing started emitting sparks. So I unplugged it. Like threw it out. Good.
Jesus. Wow.
But needs a new hair dryer. And it's like, well, okay. Like that'll be there on Sunday.
It is pretty quick. I noticed that I didn't have any Advil at home.
So you ordered 3 on Twitter or on Amazon.
Yeah, I just put a recurring order for 1 pill a day for the next 5 days.
So the delivery
'cause
guy
it
can
seemed-
come out.
It's free delivery, why not? No, but they were like, I just ordered this when I'm laying in bed with my foot up, and a couple hours later, there's a knock on my door with the Amazon dude dropping off my pills.
And what about the people with the Asian food, and then the people with the caviar, and then the all the Christmas gifts you bought for your snake?
Yeah.
A lot of guys coming to the door.
The only Christmas gift I got, and I can't remember if we talked about it for myself this year, is
The
just
white gun?
No. Well, I mean, I guess
That was a
technically.
pre-Christmas gift.
It was a pre-Christmas gift. No. And I got 2 of those, but no, I got a they're not really VR glasses. It's basically glasses with screens in them.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you want to watch
talked about
movies.
this.
Yes.
Yeah. It's basically whether you're flying on a plane or you're sitting or laying down in the hotel room, you've got a virtual 200-inch display right there in your glasses, and they plug directly with USB-C into your phone or tablet. So it's
Wow,
pretty
wait.
slick.
So you mean you could watch the clean feed screen at 100 times? That would
I know,
be
right? If I put the
amazing.
glasses on, that clean feed screen, it's going to be ginormous. It's going to be something else. And here's the coolest part, that there's a little hacky way to do it. So the new iPhone 15 Ultra, has a brand new feature that just came out this week that allows you to shoot stereo video.
Oh, for like the headsets.
It's specifically made so that you can create your own videos for the Apple headset.
Oh, well, yeah, this makes
Yeah.
more sense why there are multiple cameras of the same resolution on the back. Right? Because
So-
there's 2 of them that are like an inch apart
Well,
or
they're
so.
all slightly different, but they can pick up the same image.
Correct.
And so you've got the iPhone now being able to create 3D videos, and this headset, it's not a headset, it's really just glasses. It looks like regular aviator glasses. Through a little bit of software manipulation, they can actually play those videos. So you don't have to get the $3,000 Apple headset. You can get this cheapy $500 set of glasses. And it's pretty cool. Like watching a 3D video that you shot on your own phone.
That is kind of wild, just because
Pretty neat.
there's a slight separation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tom Tomsky says that I can still use a bit more amplification. He said the sound from X itself is like -3 compared to Podcast Addict, but that just means that overall,
Yeah.
the thing
I
coming
mean,
out.
Yeah, and I may be able to do that, but I don't
An
know
overall
if it's gonna
boost?
be easily. Yeah, and because
So here's
Yeah.
the thing, Tom Tomsky. What you get on Podcast Addict is coming right from my cottage. So I'm pumping the wattage into your cottage. On X, it's coming straight from Gene's cottage, which is not as pumped.
Well, I'll bump you up to like 9.5 dBs.
And then it'll
we'll
be
see.
like Gene's way in the background.
We'll see. No, I can crank myself up more. So give me a little level.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, and I think I'm at about the same level as well right now at 0 dBs. So Tom, let us know how this sounds. But I don't think I want to go any higher because then I'm going to start introducing artifacts. It's I basically have to have Darren at plus 9.
You get way up there, otherwise it's going to blow up.
Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. And I should be able to probably do some of this just by adding a
Compressor.
Compressor filter in the Motu, because all the changes I'm making are in the software, not on the Motu right now. So it's just boosting the lower frequency, the lower signal level coming out of the Motu for you.
Yeah, you can do that at the Motu level. I was trying to figure out if there was any way to hack the Motu in order to use like a VST plugin in line, but I don't think there is, sadly, because that would be kind of cool.
No, you got to do that through the software only.
And it's like doing that real time would be kind of cool for people in a loud environment.
I mean, their whole thing is we're actual real time, and all the VST shit is pseudo real time. There's always delay.
Oh, of course, because it takes processing to forward that signal on through.
Yeah. But it's done by a general processor, whereas the Motu's built-in DSP, it does that in literally like sub 1 millisecond.
Yeah, things are getting fast.
Yeah.
That's why you need one of them new Mac Studios with the what are they up to? M3s now, chip.
M3s, yeah.
Get super duper fast.
Super duper. That's exactly right.
I thought it was intriguing just for to show you the difference in speed on the processors. Our buddy Bandrew was talking about going at the beginning of this year. He went from his 6 or 7 year old iMac, or maybe it was a Mac Studio. Or no, I think it had to be iMac then. Now he has the Mac Studio with the M2. And he went up from processing 1080p video to 4K video and said the processing time was about the same.
Okay.
Which is quite impressive when you know how much more intensive the 4K stuff is.
Yep.
So it's like where, 6, 7 years ago, it's like, well, yeah, you can have that machine process the 4K. It's going to take a day. But he's like, I totally missed out on feeling like I have a new faster machine, because if I was processing 1080p, it would be done in minutes, but now it's still taking a long time. And I'm sure you're happy about that because you love the 4K on YouTube. I don't still see much of a.
Can't imagine how anybody doesn't have at least a 4K monitor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a 4K monitor, but if I watch that then it would be a very small screen.
What?
So if you have the 1080p, you can still sample it up. Is what I'm saying.
Sure, you could. Yeah. It just doesn't look quite as sharp.
No, but it's a YouTube video.
But who cares what it's coming from? It should still be good quality.
You want super sharp no matter what?
Yeah. I get 4K quality coming on my iPad.
Well, yeah, but do you really not? Now, if you on a screen that size, do you really see that much of a difference if you watch a quality 1080p
it doesn't have
signal?
A full 4K's worth of pixels, but it's got over 2K's worth of pixels, significantly over 2K's worth of pixels.
That's a lot of K's.
I mean, it's got like 2,000 something, 2,560 or something by like 2,000 or something. I don't know. It's a weird size. iPads are always a weird dimension.
Yeah, you're like, why don't you just do the normal?
Ideally, you want 1 pixel being streamed to you for 1 pixel of your actual device screen.
In a perfect world, everything's 1-to-1. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you have a PC mounted that's 4K, well, of course, your best quality video is going to be 4K.
But
which is really 8 million pixels.
For people watching, say, a clean feed screen, does it really make a difference if it's a...
I think so. I think people want to see a nice, sharp, clean feed screen.
I believe you do.
Uh-huh.
I believe you do.
I mean, honestly, we ought to be getting some money from CleanFeed for just putting up an ad for 2 hours.
Or they're like, you know what? We don't want to be associated with this show.
That could be. It's like, okay, guys, here's a custom version without our logo.
And it's interesting because I popped in and out of the chat and you don't get what was already in there. So it's blank when you get there.
Oh,
I'm intrigued that they don't just start a like Twitter thread.
Uh-huh.
It's an actual then live chat that maybe is not saved or archived, which would also be unfortunate because I would think part of this. Now, after a live video, I'm assuming it can go up as a post.
Yeah, I think it just stays up basically as just a post in your stream.
So then if somebody goes back, it's like maybe it's weird that the chat isn't being saved.
Well, you know how YouTube does it, right? So
the comments.
It's similar. No, not the comments.
Right. You're right. There is a chat on the side.
If you're doing a live stream, there's a side chat, and when you play a back pre-recorded stream, it plays back the streaming chat conversation as well. So maybe it does it that way. I don't know. I haven't played it around enough with the X video live streaming to really get a good answer on that.
And Kane Break, that's the question we all have. Why have a 4K monitor? I'm approximately 2 feet away from the screen and my eyes cannot see the resolution difference.
Well, I feel very sorry for you.
Between
Most
10,
people's eyes can.
And 4K, I can't either. So I'm like, damn, just give me.
I know why your eyes can't. I know, I feel sorry for you as well. But if you're sitting in front of a monitor at 2 feet and you can't see a difference between 4K and 1080p, you probably are wearing very thick glasses or contact lenses. And if you're not, I strongly recommend you go see an eye doctor. Yeah. Because you should be able to see beyond 4K. And we talked about this on one of the episodes where the average human eyeball resolution is somewhere between 4K and 8K video. So once we actually switch, it's probably the last change in video we'll ever have, which is going to 8K screens. Once that happens, then there is no further advantage in increasing screen resolution because your eyeballs cannot take advantage of it, the average eyeballs.
Well, it's like hearing that you decline throughout your life no matter what with aging.
Yeah. Yeah. And I out of curiosity, do these tests on a regular basis. I remember when Adam got his hearing aids, he got me like listening on a variety of apps for the iPhone to test hearing. And, his hearing is pretty bad. So it's the hearing aids do an amazing job.
Well, it has gotten a lot better after all the dental work, which is amazing that, so much of that.
I don't understand that. That makes no scientific sense.
Well, if it was a sinus infection or infections that were affecting that, I get it. I mean, I went a year thinking I had a bad tooth that needed a root canal, and then a little bit of antibiotic. All of a sudden, this stuff just start draining for days and days.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, wow, no, the tooth feels fine now. If that's happening,
but your hearing didn't change, right?
No, but I mean, it's all so close there. If you had a slightly different location for that infection, I can see that like pressing up against whatever it is.
I guess. Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, all of a sudden
it could if it's reducing the reverberations but I don't know, man. It's like that. I'm certainly no expert in ear technology, but every animation that I've seen of the eardrum shows that the point at which audio is converted into basically brainwaves, right? Into signals,
whatever your brain understands.
It is not all that deep within your ear. It's like going past the eardrum. It's maybe 1 millimeter or 1 centimeter. Yeah, it's more than a millimeter, obviously, but it's no deeper than the centimeter past your eardrum. That whole apparatus with the tympani is where you're getting the vibrations that are converted to brain signals by the little tiny hairs. I'm sure they have a specific name for those little hairs, but
I just think it's great. After that breakdown, we are down to just me as being the only viewer.
Yeah, well, that makes total sense because it's in such an engaging podcast that
it's Ear Talk, everybody. How you doing? I'm Darren. This is Gene.
You know, gout talk, ear talk. It's all about health. We provide no medical advice in this show.
You are ready for the holiday. I mean, you won't be getting all them little bacon wrapped smokies, that's for sure.
No. Well, there's a number of things. As you probably are aware, I don't celebrate Christmas, so nothing big or special is happening other than more video game time.
Now, I'm still on the page and it says 0 viewers, so I'm questioning Elon's.
Well, that means the system's decided that the show is so bad that
it's been canceled.
Even the people that are listening, we're just not going to count you guys.
I'm just wondering if it's now going to be like, no, the algorithm and the AI.
You're starting to see the random number generator working. Cool. Cool.
I'm just thinking the AI's like, we've had enough of this show. Nobody should be subject to listening to this show.
No, shut her down.
Shut her down, man. Shut her down.
Exactly.
I mean, still in my little sidebar. And to be fair, it is the number one thing, that message that pops up when I go onto X is you.
Well, there you go.
And the video's running, so that's cool. You see the little things moving around.
There is another way to do this, but I think it's actually even more complicated right now, which is instead of doing it as a live streaming video, to do it as an X, what do they call them? Chats, where a bunch of people can talk.
Yes, right.
I don't know that that's better or worse. It's hard to say. I will say that doing it as a live stream is a little more straightforward on how you do that from my end. But theoretically, at least, I think people have done podcasts where they've set up these little X chats as well.
Well, the interesting thing with the X chats would be if we ever wanted to do an episode where we took calls.
But they sound so bad.
Yeah, well,
the audio quality on those is horrible. Like that was developed, I think, before Musk came in. And you remember that, like these little X chats, all they are is a response to
Clubhouse.
Yeah,
you tried to get me on Clubhouse, man. I was like, no.
Hey, man, I had invites. You didn't want them.
Yeah, and then it kind of went away, didn't it? Like nobody's using it.
Yeah, here's what I understand about Clubhouse. Is when they started it, they couldn't get anybody to join because it seemed like, why? Like, no one's going to want this.
Yeah, it's a bad conference call.
Yeah, and then they started marketing to black people. And a bunch of black people started getting on there and then using it for, like barbershop talk.
Which is very entertaining.
Which is, it's great. All the black barbershops I've ever been on are hilarious.
This show is kind of like barbershop talk.
Or Seinfeld, one or the other.
Same, really. But, tomato.
But then they started getting political, and they started getting a massive inflow of people coming in that were not black, that were setting up political type conversations. And I remember how much discord there was as a result. I had started hearing about how unhappy the early adopters of the platform were with all the white people coming on.
Oh, right, because racism,
And there was you could, like, the rooms are just open to pretty much anybody. I was in rooms with a bunch of people that, what's his name? The interviewer podcaster dude here from Austin.
Right, that guy. Tim Pool.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. No, not in Austin, dude. Tim Pool.
Isn't Tim Pool in Austin now?
No.
The other guy.
He's in West Virginia.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah. No, the other guy.
Joe Rogan?
It's the other guy. Yeah, he's the younger dude that always wears black clothing.
That's a lot of people.
Okay. So I was just on Clubhouse with him. I was in Clubhouse with quite a few podcasters, actually.
Because who else would use it, right?
Including Musk. And then I remember going into one room and then being told that I needed to leave because I was not a black woman.
You're like, how do you know?
Exactly. That's exactly what I said.
How do you know I'm not a black woman?
Girlfriend?
Girlfriend, did you do the little,
Yeah.
do that? You're like,
snap. Yeah,
uh-huh.
exactly.
I'll prove it to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's so exclusionary. Where is inclusion, everybody? All the people, it's funny, all the people that have a religion now of diversity, equity, inclusion do not believe in any of those things.
No. Well, not for, white people or white associated people, which apparently Jews are white associated. So, no privileges anymore. You're pretty much treated like whites.
It was interesting to me, the whole thing that went on around in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
The dinner for the lawmakers, I believe it was.
It was
of color.
The city mayor had a Christmas dinner with
Yes.
0 white people invited.
Now, I don't have an issue
I
with,
don't really think of Boston as a white city.
I mean, it depends Boston when. I think it was very white for a while, all Irish.
Yeah, exactly. Not white.
Exactly. Thank you. Say
You're
it loud.
welcome.
I go back to which is a great movie. I have to pull that one out. If anybody has not seen The Commitment, great music movie from like 1988, 89. And it's a bunch of
There's
Irish
another bingo
kids
card.
and a bunch of Irish kids who are forming a soul band. And at one point, the very white Irish guy's like, well, say it loud and say, I'm black and I'm proud. It's like, the Irish were the blacks of Europe.
That's why they call them Black Irish.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. The Black Donnellys, another good show, only made it 1 year. Olivia Wilde back in her prime. Oh,
Yeah, she used to be pretty good back in the day.
that was a
I
That
always
was a
found
fun
her
show.
face a little too wide.
I mean, you can't have everything.
Well, yeah. So you're saying the rest of her was just right.
The rest of her wasn't bad. She's pretty cute. I mean, she's not.
I honestly, I liked her more in House than anything else she's done.
Yes. Well, House overall was well done. Great cast. And the characters were always spot on. I mean, there was
They were
nobody
very
that.
well developed.
Yes. And you,
Yes, the racial stereotypes were right there where you'd expect them.
well, it's funny because the concept then of let's not mention any of these, let's just sanitize everything is not reality. So everybody knows, which is why all the new shows and stuff, people like it doesn't seem realistic at all.
Because it's not. Yeah.
And if it's not portraying reality, then what are you hoping to achieve?
Mm-hmm.
And I think better conversations are had, young white kids with their white parents. And it's like, well, you want to have a conversation. Well, it's never going to get sparked in the new world order because none of the bad stuff is ever talked about.
Right.
And I saw a black dude post something, must have been on X. I'm sure it was re-X'd. Is that what you call these now? Re-X instead of retweet?
It's so stupid. Yeah.
Double X'd? That sounds like something dirty.
Yeah. Triple X, man.
But the stat allegedly was something like 85% of black women marry black and like 80-something% of black men marry black. So why is every couple on TV now interracial? This was a black dude posting this.
Well, that's true.
It's like you're noticing. It's like, well, that's not reality.
Yeah, I think actual interracial marriages are still fairly make up a very small percentage. They're fairly rare. Not that there's any reason they should be. There's nothing wrong with that. But see, that's a little Seinfeld coming
Right.
out there.
There's nothing wrong there. Exactly.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, I mean, it's not representative of reality. It's representative of a desire.
Yes.
And the desire is, let's get rid of race altogether by having everybody be slightly brown.
And let's just pretend that there are no differences while the whole concept seems to be, well, let's embrace the differences. Well, that's not how it works because everybody has their own traditions. You notice that around the holidays more than anything else. And if somebody's traditions are way different than yours, not that one's right and one's wrong, but you're going to gravitate towards people.
Yeah, and when people don't have traditions, then they invent them.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Happy Kwanzaa, by the way.
Thank you. I've been hoping for my Kwanzaa gift in the mail any day now.
Yes.
I'm not seeing anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
Although our post office, I think, is losing half the mail. So
that wouldn't surprise me where you live.
the fact that it's now photographed for the P.O. box. So the system has always been, because we signed up for their, hey, see what's coming. And you can do it for your main mail as well. It's a free service.
Okay.
While this thing is going through whatever router on its way to you, they're snapping photos because that's what they use to route it anyway.
Okay.
And we had always gotten the photo. You get an email to my Yahoo account, throwaway account, that would be like, well, here's what's in your P.O. box. And then we'd go and those things would be there. Well, now it's way more common to get a photo of something like, well, here's what's in your P.O. box, and it never shows up.
Really?
Which means it had to make it to like one of the last steps.
Yeah.
And then, nope, it goes, and I said if it goes into the wrong P.O. box, one, it could be a box that's not used. Two, it could be a box that somebody only checks like once every month, like I do quite often if we're not getting stuff in.
Same here.
Which means if it is in one of those boxes, it could take 6 months for somebody to go, oh, that's not mine. And either, hopefully, it's like,
I got a mirror that way.
Really? He just showed up?
It showed up. Well, it wasn't a P.O. box, but it showed up outside my front door. And I'm like, I'm not a chick. Why would I order a mirror? And it's, it's one of those stand up full height length mirrors or whatever the chicks like.
So it's a nice mirror.
I don't know. It's still in the box. But anyway, I let it sit there for 4 days, hoping that somebody who actually wanted it would take it and steal it at least or something. It was like, after 4 days, it looked like it was going to rain. And finally, I'm like, oh, God damn it. So I brought it in. But what are you going to do with it? You can't throw it away. That's bad luck.
Right. You can gift it.
I guess that's the only option I have. If only I knew any humans that
would want a mirror.
That even if they didn't want a mirror, that they could drop off a mirror and say, make it their problem. But so I've got a full height mirror in the box sitting near my front door, inside the house now. Was it
with your address on it?
No, totally not. But you couldn't tell what address it was because, the box was obviously sitting next to other boxes. So it got scratched up.
So it was a guess.
It was somebody guessed that it was probably this house erroneously. But I left it there for 4 freaking days, hoping that either the UPS dude or somebody calling in or maybe a neighbor that was just a few doors down would see it and then come over and say, hey, I think that's my mirror. I've had to do that on a couple of items that I've had shipped where like food.
You see it on somebody else's doorstep.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, hold on. That's clearly my food, not my neighbor's food. So I walk over, I hit their Ring doorbell and say, hey, I'm just picking up stuff that was mine that was delivered to you by accident, and then leave.
I use your address so I can stay off the grid.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
Nothing to worry about at all.
I'm just getting my dark web shipments coming in to your house instead of mine. So I hope you don't mind.
The illegal stuff only comes here. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, you could just do the opposite then. If you don't want the mirror, although now with the gout thing, it would be much harder. I'd be like, be cat burglar Gene, and then in the middle of the night, just deliver a mirror to somebody else's house.
Yeah. Problem is, this whole neighborhood everyone's got a Ring.
I would
everyone.
I would love to watch that surveillance video.
That'd be Gene. 20 different views of a fat dude was sneaking around with a mask on and a mirror and dropping it off at somebody's house.
Like, why did you do this? I didn't want it.
I have no use for something like this. Why? There are certain, like, I've gotten mistaken food delivery showing up as well. Generally, the food other people order is crap compared to the stuff that I order. But, it's free food. What are you going to do? You eat it. But, when this mirror showed up, I haven't opened it, but I know it's a mirror. It can't be anything else other than a mirror. It's very apparent from its size. This is a mirror.
Can't be a television?
It's not going to be a television. No, it doesn't weigh enough for a television. It's the size of a hang-on-the-wall full-length mirror.
Aren't those pretty heavy, though?
It's not light, but it's not a television.
So what we're saying is, if you're between the ages of 18 and 30, a Hawaiian Tropic model, a Hooters waitress, or just otherwise maybe a Twitch streamer hottie, and you're in the Austin area and you'd like a full-length mirror, hit Gene up.
So you've just described about 30% of the female population of Austin.
Well, then it's a good chance that you might be able to get that mirror out.
I know, because I guarantee you that's exactly who ordered it. It's a Twitch streamer chick that clearly ordered it. And having dated one of those in the past, that's exactly the kind of thing she'd be buying.
Ooh, Canebrake has a good point. Open the box. There is often a shipping label inside the packaging.
Okay, what am I going to do then? What am I going to take an unboxed mirror over to this chick's house and say, hey, I found your mirror?
Maybe. Could be a meet cute. I mean, if her Doberman doesn't attack you on the way in and she's like, I got gout, I can't run.
First of all, they all have dogs. Secondly, the obvious question is like, well, I ordered this like 2 months ago.
Where has it been?
What have you been doing it for 2 months before you decided to bring it back here?
Hey, maybe she'd give you a subscription to her OnlyFans page.
Oh, now that's a thought. Maybe that would be worth doing then.
See?
Only thoughts. Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But we got ordered a frame to frame something up for my parents from Amazon. And it was not expensive, but it's like a poster frame, like $40.
Mm-hmm.
And we got 2 of them.
Okay.
And it was weird because it was UPS and it came the thing that said, hey, your package coming tomorrow. It's like, okay, we got that. Then I got one that said the package is coming tomorrow, but the return address was like UPS something or other. And I looked it up and it's usually what you get if something falls out of the box, and they can tell where it's supposed to be going. Then they repackage it up, but it was 2 completely sealed boxes of the exact same thing.
Wow.
So I don't really know why. And I'm like, should I go to Amazon and be honest about it? I mean, legally you don't have to, so we'll just get that part out.
You can totally do that. I did that. I had a delivery that was missing. And then I called up Amazon a day later and I said, guys, I never got this. Your system shows it delivered. And, they're usually pretty nice about that. I've had to do that a couple times and they just tell you they'll go ahead and reship it. Yeah.
Right.
And then, like an hour later, it showed up in front of my house. So clearly the Amazon delivery guy was lying about the status of delivering packages. Probably stopped to get a burger after marking it as delivered and then decided to actually deliver it after getting his burger.
Well, that's why they make them take pictures
God forbid, stopping to take a leak because they're not supposed to be doing that shit.
Yeah, how dare they?
I know, right? And so then I'm like, okay, well, the thing that they're going to reship because I said it didn't show up now, it showed up. So being an extremely honest individual that I am, I called up Amazon and said, so your package just showed up, guys. My package.
They're like, awesome.
You, the one that, and the guy's like, oh, well, that's good. I'm glad that was finally delivered. I go, okay, so you can go ahead and cancel, the replacement. And it was like, oh, well, that's already going out.
Yeah, we can't do that.
I don't really need 2 of these. I mean, I certainly don't want to pay for 2 of these. And they're like, yeah, no, we only have you charging once. Okay, so you want me to ship it back? That's kind of a hassle. I was like, no, you don't have to ship it back.
So you're telling me just to keep it?
Yeah, so you're basically telling me to keep it. And the guy's like, yeah, I mean, we don't really have a prompt here for what to do when people call when they find things.
Yes. We want to send you free things.
There's no there's no script for how to deal with a customer who found the thing that was lost.
Yeah, the honest customer script never made it in to the final.
Not there. Doesn't exist. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I just, I feel like I should have and everybody else would have in my shoes. Maybe not.
Well, this is it. It's a hassle and you're like, well, then I'm not even going to try. But as an Amazon seller, if somebody sends back even a sealed box of your product, it's not being resold.
I never get it back. Yeah, it's going to get resold. Yeah.
So that's what anybody will tell you. It's going to go onto a pallet and somebody's going to buy it for pennies. So you may as well keep it. It's not like it's going, if it's a mom and pop store where it's going back into stock, then you feel like an asshole. Yeah. With Amazon, you may as well just keep the extras.
And there was always the danger that I've had happen with other places, thankfully not Amazon, where they they'll say, "Oh, great, we're so happy you told us. So here's the process we're going to need you to do," and it's a big hassle for you because they do expect you to drive it out to UPS,
right,
and then ship it off, and then they'll send you back credit for the shipping amount. It's like I didn't really want to do that either. I was hoping that with Amazon at least it would be
right. Somebody would run to my door and
we'll
take
pick it up, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
that would make sense.
Nope. They did not have a script for that process.
My favorite one from Amazon, and it wasn't a hugely expensive item, but when I was doing all of the reviews, it was a pH tester, which is just like a little pen kind of thing, but I think maybe $20 retail. And the order was for one, and they sent a box which had 9 of them in there. So obviously Amazon gets 9 of these in a box and is supposed to sell them one by one.
Right.
And they just decided to send that out. And
yeah, in that scenario, Amazon isn't the one taking the hit. It's the seller.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but again, if you try to return it, they're still probably going to go onto a pallet and the seller is going to get screwed anyway.
Guaranteed. There's no process for fixing that. I had an incident. I guess we're at the point of, what do you call it when enough time's gone by that legal things don't apply anymore?
Oh, the statute of limitations?
That would be the one. Yeah. I think we're beyond statute of limitations. I had something happen when I was a teenager where I had ordered a very expensive 14.4 modem.
Wow, they had those in 1914?
Yeah, they had those in 1914 and they were about $600 a piece.
Oh.
And so I get this rather large sized box from the company I ordered the modems from. And I open the box up, and inside the box are 6 boxes of the modem I bought.
Hayes custom 14.4s.
I'm like, I think they were Courier 14.4. And I was like, US Robotics. Holy shit. That is, a lot 5 times 600 more than I was expecting.
And eBay wasn't around yet.
Yeah. So that's like $3,000 of modems. So I quickly took the entire box and brought it in the house, put everything away, and then thought, okay, I'm gonna wait like a week before I start selling these things.
You're like looking around, like somebody watching
I'm like
me,
checking out, make sure nobody's looking, and it about 4 days later, there's a ring on the doorbell, and the UPS delivery guy came by and says, "Hey, I need to get the box that I dropped off back." And I was like,
"Wow."
Well, I delivered a box here, and I guess it was the wrong box was shipped, so they're paying to get it shipped back. I said, "I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. I got the product that I paid for, that I'm currently using." And he says, "Yeah, but this box they shipped was like 8 times heavier than the product box they were supposed to have shipped."
They're like, "Here's your new product."
I was like, "I don't know what happened, but I paid for a product. I got a product. I'm using the product. I'm really not sure what they or you or somebody else screwed up. Not really my business."
And I don't know when the laws were passed, but there are laws that say if you get something delivered to you mistakenly, you can legally keep it. I mean, I think
that's more of the an old wives' tale law than an actual law. Possession is not actually 9/10 of the law.
No, I saw this recently again.
Yeah, no, it makes its rounds, but I think ultimately, if somebody accidentally at the bank gives you a $100 bill instead of a $10 bill,
well, banking's
you
different.
Don't get to walk off with that.
Banking is different.
Is it though?
Yes. I mean, and again, it's in the mail. The mail thing is what adds to it.
Yeah. Well, it's not in the mail. It's UPS.
Well, that's still
being not a government agency.
Yeah. It is.
But I think the idea is if somebody drops something off, at the very least, I'm perfectly capable of saying, well, yeah, there's some box sitting on my, driveway. I just put it in the trash and the trash got picked up yesterday. So you want it? Go look in the trash.
You better go find it. Yeah.
Because if you leave garbage laying around my driveway, There's only one place it's going to end up. And I sure as hell didn't order any 6-pack of modems, so why would I keep it?
This is from a NJ.com, New Jersey newspaper that says by federal law, if you're delivered something, you can keep it.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
No, I'm not going to have to find the law. It's got to be a thing.
Go ahead. There's no such law.
Got to be a thing, man.
Yeah.
Got to be a thing. Where's the law here?
Sir, I'm afraid you get to keep these kidneys that we just delivered to your house.
Well, kidneys are a little different. I don't know why you'd want them, but let's see. The FTC is who you want to deal with here. And of course, it's a big old page.
Yeah. Federal Trade Commission doesn't make laws.
Get a shipping day, keep records, report problems. Well, no, really, it's not a problem when you get extra stuff.
Well, it depends on if it's a mirror or not.
True.
You're really want.
It's bad luck if I throw this thing out and it breaks.
The problem. That's the problem is I can't get rid of this stupid thing because it's bad luck. So
it says the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, your rights when you get unordered merchandise by law. Companies can't send unordered merchandise to you, then demand payment. That means you never have to pay for things you get, but you didn't order.
Yeah, but
you also don't need to return unordered merchandise. You're legally entitled to keep it as a
what's
free
the law
gift.
on that? Because I don't believe that's true.
Sellers can send you merchandise that is clearly marked as a gift, free sample, or the like. Charitable organizations can send you merchandise and ask for a contribution. It's your right to keep as a free gift. Sometimes you might sign up for a free trial, blah, blah, blah. Now, this again is just on the FTC website. They do not give a link to. It is FTC.gov.
No such thing. FTC does not make laws.
There's got to be a law somewhere.
Yeah, and if they had a link to a law that says when you receive a package from a shipping service, you don't have to give it back, even if there's 10 pounds of cocaine inside, that'd be different.
Yes, a 5-finger discount is exactly what you want to deal with there, DigiGuru.
So I think that it's certainly very difficult for somebody that made a mistake in your favor.
Yes,
try and go after that. But I think it's just a function of I'm blocking our beautiful voice thing. There we go. I think it's just a function of the value of it, because as the value goes up, I think that the expense the company is willing to spend on legal to recover their lost item will also increase. And I guarantee you there are some laws that do exist which will like, for example, being in possession of stolen property is illegal. A property that was not purchased by you or acquired through any legal means, but is in your possession and has been reported as not delivered to the appropriate address, is likely to be considered stolen property. So they could actually go after you legally and put you in jail.
It is 39 U.S. Code 3009, mailing of unordered merchandise.
Again, I think this applies to things that are mailed on purpose.
No, it says because there is a carve out in here for free samples, clearly and conspicuously marked, and merchandise mailed by a charitable organization. It says,
what's the code again? USC 39.
39, then 3009. Any merchandise mailed in violation of subsection A, which would be anything that you're getting you didn't order, may be treated as a gift by the recipient, who shall have the right to retain, use, discard, or dispose of in any manner he sees fit. Well, that's just totally sexist. Why just he? Without any obligation whatsoever to the sender.
Well, that seems pretty good, actually. That covers the example I was trying to go at. Well, shit, maybe there is a law, but it has to be a real law. It can't be a FTC thing.
Maybe there is a law. There always is. How many laws aren't there? There's more laws than there are not laws. I'm pretty sure.
There are an amazing amount of laws, that's for sure.
But I could see this would otherwise be the scam, which is somebody, say, has a pallet full of ponchos and they want to get rid of them. So they just send them to somebody's house and
some random house.
And then they don't come back as I didn't order this. So then they send them a bill like, well, obviously you got the ponchos. You're enjoying them. Ergo, you have to now pay me.
I still think we'd have to look at the definition of mailed for this code. It may not cover private delivery methods. And it certainly, I guarantee you, would not cover UPS doing their own Amazon doing their own Amazon deliveries. If you get something from Amazon that's delivered by Amazon, is that technically shipped?
I would believe so.
It never
You're
loses.
Right. Mailed is an interesting term.
Yeah.
Is mailing via UPS? That's interesting. Because this is something that's changing fairly quickly. If the law's been around longer than Amazon has, and I'm guessing it is.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Nobody thought of, well, what if the company drops it off itself?
1971.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, we just got a boostergram from CSB, comic strip blogger.
Legal Talk. Great.
He loves it. 15,000 Satoshi says, Merry Christmas, comrades, Gene and Darren. Yo. CSB.
How's our volume level, CSB?
Are we sounding good, CSB? Do the microphone sound good? I noticed, I've been using this Shure SM7B, and I don't like to because I have a tendency to pop it a little bit more than I do.
I can hear the popping, man. It's there.
So I need to go back to the Electro Voice.
I also like the more bassy response in Electro Voice that you have.
I do too. I like to use this every now and then because it is smaller and easier to move around. And I could put the big foam ball on there. But then it kind of sounds
that available, right?
Underwater a little bit. CSB. He didn't even mention. So he's in the Christmas spirit because he didn't tell everybody to go to www.csb.lol.
Well, you better tell him for him.
Yeah, go to www.csb.lol.
I'm sure he'll have some Christmassy related cartoons in there.
I would hope so.
I know he's eating fish today.
Well, it is. Well, you do that Friday around Easter. Do you do that too for religious reasons or just?
I don't.
I'm going to pop the big ball on. I'll mute this for a second.
Okay. I don't know if CSB is doing fish for religious reasons or just purely out of I haven't had fish for a while reasons. But
both are valid. Oh wow, that does sound different.
And I told him the fish that he listed, because he listed the fish he wants to eat, is all good, yummy stuff I would happily eat. Unfortunately, 2 out of the 3 are not good for gout. So.
Well, you don't want to do the gout thing, but now can you tell the difference? No. This is the big ball now.
Well, I say something that's poppy.
Peter picked a pica peppers. It definitely helps with the popping.
I can still hear it.
It's better than it was, but it also sounds a little bit more underwatery.
More nasally, yeah.
A little more nasally. That's the way you have to start doing more
that's
adjusting.
The thing is, I think that the sound that you like on that microphone is in large part due to the open air feel of it.
That could be.
Whereas, I don't know. It's not a horrible poppiness, but it's definitely audible.
Well, yeah, and I hear it a lot with people that use this microphone.
Oh, dude. People that don't understand where to place their mouth in relation to the mic, they're constantly abusing these mics that they have no idea why they bought them, other than Joe Rogan has one.
Yeah, Rogan has it. Right now, I don't have any pop filter on it at all.
Yeah.
It's just the way they used it in Northern Exposure. It's interesting because you can see the capsule and it's in this thing like 4 inches beyond, which is also why you have to stay pretty close to it because it is not a very sensitive microphone. And you're intentionally there. But if you don't just pee right into it, that sounded dirty. You won't be doing the popping if you keep it at the right angle. And it sounds really nice without anything on top of the capsule because, now it is pure, unadulterated. Your voice isn't going through any kind of foam. But we know how hard that is to do for a whole show without looking right in and accidentally, especially going between 3 monitors. I guess if I had it positioned in such a way that I never had to turn my head to look to the other side of it. That could be.
Do you not have? Oh, I guess you can't really turn your eyeballs the way I can.
I know it's not as easy.
Yeah.
Our buddy No Beret also came in with $10 for this show. That's the one PayPal donation we got for today.
All right.
That's appreciated.
Yeah.
He says, to the Rainbow Snowflake Trip to Gaza Incidentals Fund, get some crazy glue to stick them in a tunnel.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you, No Beret. He was the first ever unrelenting oligarch.
Really?
Yeah, he's the dude that sent in that Russian currency.
Oh, okay. I remember that. Yeah.
That old Soviet stuff, which was also in a baggie and some coffee so the drug sniffing dogs wouldn't hear. People go for the bit, man. I like it when people go for the bit. Maybe that's why they won't deliver things to my P.O. box anymore, No Beret. It could be your fault.
Could be. Yeah. They're sick and tired of having the FBI dogs showing up all the time.
Possibly. Sir Truck Driver also came in 2,000 sats, and he said, not listening live, listening on a Sunday morning. I'm boosting late as I haven't had time to listen live. Sorry, I'm a disappointment. So thank you, Sir Truck Driver of the Rolling On Show, rollingon.show. We've started a trend with this .show stuff.
.show's good, man. I did a little more digging here. It says 39 USC is all about the Postal Service.
Interesting. So how does that relate?
I'm pretty sure this does not apply to UPS or even Amazon or other services.
I think it would.
Remember, there are certain laws that are related specifically to the Postal Service.
Correct.
Because it's a quasi-government organization.
But I would think that this wasn't about them making mistakes. This is a retailer accidentally shipping something to you, which they did, whether it's UPS, FedEx, USPS, but that's something to look into. If there's any lawyers out there.
I suspect that what this came out of in 1971 was when companies just started shipping products to people and then following that up with invoices.
You're right. And you think, well, I got it. So did I order it? Should I pay?
Yeah. And then it's like, well, we have delivery proof confirmation that you received this product. Now you need to pay for it. And or you can return it with a 50% restocking fee.
Well, that seems reasonable.
Well, I never ordered it. Yeah, but you got to do one or the other. Either pay for it or pay the restocking fee. So I would bet money that's where this law originally stemmed from. That'd be just like the kind of scamming that I can imagine people in 1971 doing.
I mean, yeah, well, it's getting even better now, but I can imagine that people were looking for the quick buck. And CSB says he is non-religious, so he only eats fish for agnostic reasons. Nutrition, he says.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's good stuff. I wish I could partake of it right now, but I gotta probably wait a good month.
Yeah, because you don't want to be in constant pain.
No, it's funny how that works. Pain has a way of changing your behavior.
Oh, quicker than anything else.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, otherwise you're like, I'll get around to it. I'm going to get into better shape. I'm going to do this.
Spoil the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah,
spoil the rod, spoil the child.
I'm going to stop eating bacon in a couple of weeks. I just want to have a little more. Once it's in pain, you're like, no, not going to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to help support this show, go to unrelenting.show. We are still a value for value podcast. They're not behind a paywall. We don't make you sign up for anything crazy yet. I mean, we might. We're just the type that might do that.
Yeah, if you ever provide an address to us, you may get a box.
Oh, ponchos.
Hey, I'm still keeping the poncho offer on the table here, even though we're coming up to the end of the year. If you want to make a donation of a minimum $50 or more, I will be happy to send you a poncho if you provide your shipping address, or I'll send you a box of 3 of them, in fact.
Ooh, 3 ponchos, man. You want them in your car.
They're good for blocking radiation, even.
They're good for preventing gout.
3 out of 4 radiations. And then also don't forget that what else would make a wonderful Christmas present is to go to empshield.com.
Oh,
and
wow.
Get yourself an EMP shield. Use the coupon code SirGene to get a discount on your favorite EMP shield product.
Wow. This is not the Griffcast.
That's true. But you know what? I need to get some donations coming in through my sponsor links as well.
That's called advertising.
That's not advertising. It's totally not advertising because there's no actual discussion of the products. All I'm telling people is, should you happen to be at the store, use the coupon code. That's really helping people. That's not advertising.
You are really a humanitarian at heart.
I've always said that.
Well, you have. I don't know if anybody else has.
Yeah. No, in fact, we talked about it. I met the founder of EMP Shield at a recent EMP conference that I went to.
Yeah, the retired homeless Santa Claus
the homeless Santa Claus conference, as you describe it. Yes, that's interesting. I also recently was on a group of folks talking about spy stuff with the former head of the CIA's training facility at the farm there. And one thing I will mention, I can't really talk about it, but I can mention one thing, I think, because it's very minor, is that his take after 30 years working at the company is that China is nowhere near as big a concern for the United States as the media is making it out to be, which also echoes what I've been saying now for quite a while as well.
Well, the media tells a tale in order to change your behavior, to get you to vote the way they want you to vote.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it is something you have to be aware of.
Yeah. But from a now retired guy that ran the training facility there at Quantico, that's his opinion, is that it's nowhere near the level that it's being portrayed as being a threat to America.
It's fear porn.
Kind of. Yeah, exactly.
And CSB, do those sats go through? Because I noticed it only went through to Satoshi Stream, where I get the pop-up, but not to Alby. So I wonder if Alby's still down.
Could be.
And if it's down, does that mean it's just not coming through at all? I mean, come on, man.
Well, it's not really his problem.
I know.
Days, right?
I know, but like during a live show when we get funded. The last
Alby donation that I see is 5 days ago.
Well, see, you need more.
Sure. Yeah.
But they're not currently receiving Satoshis, which is part of the issue.
Yeah.
It's always best just to send your cash. Not your mirrors, just your cash.
Yeah, or blankets and water.
But if you need a big mirror and you're in the Austin area.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it too large to like fit in a car? I mean, is that...
if you have a hatchback, maybe. It's not going to fit in the regular sedan.
Because otherwise it's like a 6 foot tall mirror kind of thing.
Yeah, it's probably 5 feet minimum.
Could be ornate, is it like a nice wood border around it?
Super expensive. Frame? You never know. It's it's just it's a boxed up box that appears to be a mirror of an unknown value.
Or it could be a spy device with a very large battery that you've brought into your home and let sit there for days while it sniffs all of your network traffic.
It could totally be that. Exactly.
That would be hilarious.
Wouldn't it?
Because Gene's just like, I'm just too lazy to even look in the box.
I know, right?
Could be filled with money. What if it's like a very bad money laundering scheme?
I mean, it could be literally just laundering money by pretending that they're shipping mirrors.
Could be anything.
It could be anything.
And maybe, what if it's not a mirror? What if it is a life-size portrait of you nude?
I mean, it could be like a 6 foot tall framed portrait of, let's say, some female singer or something.
Yeah, it could be a Taylor Swift photo.
Did you accidentally order a life-size Taylor Swift photo in a frame and have it shipped to me accidentally?
I mean, I keep trying to order the life-size Taylor Swift, but that order never seems to go through.
Well, maybe it did.
Possible.
And they just sent it. Because they're like, oh, yeah, weren't you the guy that ordered a bunch of products and then that shipping got redirected to Chicago for some reason? We'll make sure it gets to your house this time.
Let me update on the albums that I had ordered.
Uh-huh.
That on Halloween, the package arrived and they sent 4 CDs instead of 4 vinyl.
Ooh, well, you can't have that. You're a big aficionado of the crappy ass plastic that wears off every time you listen to it.
Exactly. Got to have the vinyl.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to get it replaced.
You know, there's no reason they can't make CDs. They can't make records from a material that is harder than vinyl and doesn't wear away the way that vinyl does.
Well, the current vinyl, I think, is better than it has been in past. I mean, they've played around with the formulation a little bit.
You could literally
especially
put it on top of a light bulb and watch it melt.
the colored vinyl. You know, the black was always the thing.
I can't believe you're using language like that.
If you were an audiophile.
You're calling it colored now, are you?
Yeah. Back in the day,
What's wrong with just calling it black?
the black vinyl is superior.
Well, okay, now you're back on a ball. There you go.
The colored vinyl
Yeah.
was always known as a substandard product
Mm-hmm.
because the pellets that they were using to get all those pretty colors were not quite up to the same standard that the black pellets were. But
You
those,
remember the clear vinyl?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've gotten way better. So you can get clear vinyl, transparent vinyl. You can get your smoky vinyl. You can get all sorts of different colors and splatters.
Why don't you just use a laser engraver on a stainless steel record to engrave the audio?
And then it never goes away.
And it'll last forever. In fact, here's a better solution.
Well, that's why.
Why don't you just buy the vinyl press plate?
Right. By the,
The plate itself, which will, I guess it can degrade ever so slightly, but hell of a lot better than the vinyl that you create with it.
Well, the stampers last for about 1,000 records. Now, back in the day, they were using them for like 10,000, which is
Right.
why there is such a marketplace for the ones that you can tell were pressed early on, because they are not all created equally. Sadly, we're CDs, pretty much. But where this scam goes, that I had to send the CDs back, that made sense. They gave me a UPS ticket. So
Wait, I thought you had 100% ownership of those now.
Well, not if I want the other stuff. I could have kept those and been like, thank you for sending something that's worth half of what I had ordered. But I shipped them back to them.
Yeah.
That got back to them like a week later. Still have not gotten the exchange. So I asked, I emailed and asked, was there a shipping label?
Yeah.
They sent me a shipping label from FedEx created on December 9th, but it has not left their facility yet. So just a label has been created on the 9th, which is what, 2.5 weeks ago?
I think those are only good for 30 days.
And then you're screwed, man.
Wow.
It's horrible customer service. There are people that are just ripping Universal Music to shreds for the way they've handled a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. I mean, it's bad enough that they demand the CDs get returned, but then to not ship the actual product you bought.
And for the CDs, it's like, okay, you know what it costs, and they weren't autographed. So the merchandise cost on 4 CDs is like $4.50 with packaging and everything else.
Yep.
So it's like, we need to get those back, but I'm still not going to, rather than, sorry for the inconvenience. No, none of that. So I will say, not so good. Although I did order some.
Did you start your phone call with, I never got my records, or you just started with, I got CDs?
I never got the records. That was, and it was an email because you can't get anybody on the on the phone nowadays.
Yeah. And as I found out with X support, the only way you get support from X is with a direct message to X.
So you need to be on X to get X.
Yeah. And if you want like X premium support, you need to be X premium.
Well, that would make sense.
But if your problem is the fact that you're paying for premium and you're not getting premium,
well, you're not premium.
You're stuck in the regular X queue while you're waiting and paying for premium for them to get around to getting your message and seeing that you're bitching about not having premium, which I did. And that problem got resolved because I don't know if you remember, I was talking about how I'm paying for Premium Plus.
Yes.
But they still haven't promoted me. So that it took about a week for the initial response, but then after that, within a couple of days, they saw that there was a problem. They escalated it. They manually flipped a switch, made them brought me to Premium Plus, which is great. And then I said, well, great. So are you guys issuing a refund for the month that I paid for and didn't get? Or what are we doing here? And the response was, we do not handle that here. Thank you for understanding. And I was like, okay,
but
so
who does?
Now I'm like thinking, well, what does that mean? So I replied back and said, okay, so does that mean I need to just contact my credit card to do a chargeback? Which, anybody that's ever worked in retail knows that's a single chargeback is worth way more to you of a hassle than just losing the cost of the product.
Yes.
Because it degrades your rating with the company to the point where you're going to be paying higher rates for each transaction. So you want to avoid those at all costs. In fact, a lot of companies, one of the companies I ran, we paid, I think, $100 to a company to resolve those and flip them out of chargebacks into normal charges. Their whole job was to contact the customer, be very understanding, appeal to the customer in apologizing profusely and making sure that whatever they wanted happened in trade for them removing the chargeback.
Right.
So this is not what, and the answer I get back from X is like, yes, you should probably talk to your credit card. Thank you.
You're like, that's fantastic.
I'm like, wow. Okay. So I'm not sure at this point what to do. Because on the one hand, they solve my problem. And I don't want to just, fuck X and Musk for the sake of teaching them a lesson about bad customer support. On the other hand, I paid for a month that I didn't get.
And all they had to do was be like, you know what? We're going to add 3 months onto your subscription.
That's all I was waiting for is like, yes, we're going to add like another 3 years for free or something.
Yes.
I'd be willing to compromise on months instead of years.
We're going to give you lifetime Premium Plus and invite you to Elon's for this 4th of July barbecue.
And I'm like, well, do you want, I can literally like walk over to Elon's house. I'm not that far away.
I'll bring the potato salad. That's cool.
I'll bring my ex to show him exactly the problem that's happening here.
He'd be happy to see that.
I think their support is very far from the United States and has a very limited amount of things that they're able to resolve.
Yes.
Even at the premium support level, which is the way I switched to using. So, yeah, I need to make a decision whether this is worth the hassle of contacting the credit card to teach them a lesson or if I should just grumble and just forget about it.
It's good content. So you got some money's worth there.
Yeah.
This is where I am begging for the AI overlords because my first message that you just asked about that went to Universal Music.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with this kind of stuff so often. I've worked in retail. I understand how things go. So I was very clear. I ordered this. I did not get it.
Mm-hmm.
I got this instead.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to ship me what I ordered and let me know what to do with the CDs. I mean, that was the 5 points in the email. They were there. They were clear.
Yep.
The first email, which took like 2 weeks to get a response or maybe a week, was, oh, we're sorry that happened. Would you like a refund or would you like us to ship the new product?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I fucking said it in the email.
Yeah.
Literally said what to do.
Dude, exact same thing with X because I included screenshots to demonstrate the problem that I was having. And then their first response was, can you please send us some screenshots to show us examples of this? Because they're used to following that script, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, yes, let me copy and paste from above here.
The one I just sent. It's maddening because an AI would be able to parse our original messages and know what to do. But real people now are like, oh, script says annoy customer more. Probably does. That's probably exactly what it says. Buy us some time. But I didn't need it.
Silly.
Now,
it is wholly silly.
If I was the, really good uncle or something and had bought these Taylor Swift records to give to my niece for Christmas, well, then I'd be really pissed off considering it should have been here October 31st.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're 2 months later and it still hasn't shipped. It's like, that is just For a company the size of Universal, the funny thing is, I mean, I know she wasn't quite at the level she is today, but when she ran her own merchandise, I bought stuff a few different times, never had a problem. And when there was a problem, they were another one that sent lithographs that were not protected. Oh, no problem. We'll send out another set. That was it. And then they did.
Yeah.
They didn't ask for the old ones back.
Yep.
They didn't make it. Like, that was good customer service.
Exactly.
But now working for the biggest company out there, they can't be bothered. I'm like, you know how much money is coming in on this stuff? It's like, hire more people.
She, at some point in time, like, get rid of a publisher and decide that she's too big for publishers? When did she start working with Universal?
That's when she left Big Machine, which everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people were surprised she didn't go the route of just starting her own label.
That's what I thought she was doing, yeah.
Which would have made a lot more sense. But I mean, I know you got the big boot of the big record company, but she was already at the point where it wasn't needed.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe they take a bunch of the work off your plate and you're making so many millions of dollars, it doesn't really matter.
I suspect the company as big as Universal could have done a deal with her where they effectively fronted her, kind of like, you know, when you write a book.
Right.
Say, hey, how'd you like a check for $200 million today for the next 5 years of working with us?
Yes. Plus, you're going to get everything you were getting anyway.
Yeah. Something like that. Something where it'd be stupid not to do it.
And that may be the case. And it's like, we'll take over. We'll take over your merchandising. We'll make it huge. Yeah, but then the quality of the service and the quality of the merchandise goes away. And then your fans get pissed off. And at some point, that's where your career starts going down the other side.
All these careers eventually wind down. So the question is, who's going to be the next crazy big performer chick to take her place?
That's a good question, because I was trying to figure
Billie
out.
Eilish?
No. I mean, Billie Eilish she's popular enough, but never going to be that level. I mean, think about the musicians at this level. And I was trying to, like, is there anybody I'm forgetting? Because we go back even before, if we're going back before rock and roll, we have the Frank Sinatra and like Bing Crosby, even back in the day, that was huge. And then we go into rock and roll and we have Elvis and the Beatles. But, you know, and okay, there's the Rolling Stones. They're still pretty good. But there's only a handful of artists that have reached this kind of level. As we get more into
Did you mention Elvis?
Yeah, Elvis Presley. As starting with the Beatles, not with the Beatles, but around, you know, that time period.
Elvis and the Beatles.
Now that'd be a good mashup. You know, in our day, we had the Springsteens and Tom Petty's, and you know,
they weren't that big though.
No, I mean, they had their brief moments.
I think the biggest one that I really kind of felt was big was Prince.
Yes,
but also he was from my neck of the woods. I, you know, would run into him in the grocery store, and I hang out at his club 7 days a week. So,
and he's like, "Do you follow
Not
me?"
at all stalking him, mind you.
You following me? What are you doing here?
Well, and his house that he grew up in was right next to my junior high school.
Nice.
So I got to like our bus route drove by that. The house wasn't next to the school, but the bus route drove by the house all the time.
And while Prince was very popular, he never reached the level that she has. He never reached, you know, the Beatles level, never reached the Elvis level. There's only a very small amount of artists that can. So to go, who is going to be the next, and when is the question? Because who was the last person to have this kind of success before her? And I don't know who that is.
Yeah, like who was playing concerts in stadiums? I guess that would be the closest, right?
Yeah, in the 70s, that was selling that kind. It's like,
was it like Nirvana or some shit?
But they really, I mean, one was a much shorter career, so it depends if you're going for that one point, because there are some artists that get huge.
I think it's probably more fair to just look at like 1 year's worth of time, not like a 10 years worth.
Yes, that you've had that arc going up and up and up. When you go for like who was playing the football stadiums back in the 80s, U2 wasn't there yet. They were still playing the basketball arenas. It wasn't until the 90s that they started playing. the football stadiums. So they're close. I mean, Pink Floyd for a while was playing football stadiums, but it has been more of a rarity now. It's really gotten to be more of a fractured market, no doubt, because of the internet and the way people listen to music. Streaming music has changed things. The ability to watch and listen to whatever you want anytime you want, I think, has also changed, where the crowds going to concerts have, I think, overall, maybe not gone down as a whole, but I think each individual concert has less people going to each show because it's a much more fractured. You've got way more choices now.
So apparently, Baleo Dugmi is the number one most attended artist.
Baleo Dugmi. Who's that?
Yeah. He's a artist from Belgrade. In the 2005 tour of Sarajevo.
Wow, that's pretty big, man.
250,000 people in one location.
Canebrake says Garth Brooks. Yeah, Garth was pretty big, but still country, so it's not.
Paul McCartney, Tina Turner, Frank Sinatra, all very close at 180,000 people.
As far as the largest concert in one time.
Yeah. The only thing I found so far. Bruce Springsteen's up there at 160,000. Roger Waters, 150,000. U2 at 150,000. Kiss at 137. Queen at 130.
So what we're saying is we'd like a live unrelenting audience.
Rolling Stones at 126. Michael Jackson at 125.
But it's that whole tour. And you can't even go by grossing, because then you're looking at ticket sales not as far as how many.
Make adjustments for real dollars versus.
We'd have to do some. Yeah, Bowie was big, but also never.
Crap. But it's the usual suspects: Queen, Madonna, Michael Jackson's, Pink Floyd. Michael Jackson's had multiple 100,000 plus person events.
I mean, we'd be pretty okay if we could do a live unrelenting before 100,000 people.
The system is the Twitter thing is built to handle that load.
Ooh, well, that would be good.
Yeah, there's like nothing technologically to prevent us from doing that. So I guess we're going to get there. Billy
Bones pointing out population density. So in the 70s and 80s, that the numbers mean more because there were less people.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many math equations that have to be done, Billy Bones. And I like No Parade, the only guy that sent us a PayPal donation today, comes into the troll room and like, oh, they're still doing this show, huh?
So U2 had the most attended tour with 7.2 million people.
And that is probably going to be blown away by the Eras tour.
To 2011.
Yeah, my guess would be the Taylor Swift tour will beat that, although it depends.
Maybe. Yeah, 7.2 million. That's a significant number, man.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's why they can do whatever they want, man. Bono's got fuck you money.
And then Ed Sheeran, I don't even know who that is.
He is another redhead singer.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't follow those. And then...
well, it's because it's a guy. If it was a redhead female singer, you'd be like all over that.
Know who that is. Yeah, I know. Coldplay apparently did 6 million people, 6.5 million people in 2022. So she'll probably beat that, right?
Yeah, easily, I think. Because each individual night
at all
is almost 70 to 100,000, and it's 100 and however many dates. So
let me ask Grok, see what Grok knows.
Oh, right, because you get this as far as paying for X Premium.
Yeah,
CSB loves the Grok bot.
He does love the Grok. Yeah,
you could ask it all sorts of things.
I was checking the Bing before that.
Yeah, the Who had that huge crowd. Isle of Wight.
Different. Rod Stewart had 4.2 million people. In the audience, you got to be shitting.
I thought you were just saying Rod Stewart had 4.2 million people.
This Grok is giving me totally different shit. You got Jean-Michel Jarre, 3.5 million people in Russia.
Well, does Russian money spend just as well?
Yeah, I heard that concert, but that's I would not have thought that was 3.5 million people. Yeah, and then it goes to Ed Sheeran and Rolling Stones, like the other one. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. I think probably she's topping Madonna for sure of the female artists, probably more than Britney, because Britney kind of did her burnout right at the point where she was starting to get super mega huge.
Yeah, she went nuts. Sadly,
Well, I don't know if "went" is the right
She
word.
might have always
I think
been.
she ended up nuts. No, I think she was brought to that point by her fucked up parents.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, she's a very abused girl. I've always felt very sorry for Brittany.
Well, a lot of these kids that grow up in the entertainment industry.
In the Disney abuse factory. Yes.
Yeah, Disney especially. That seems to be that part of the way
it's child exploitation. There's no, maybe you can't call it pornography or whatever, but it's absolutely child exploitation. Everything Disney does is evil.
Well, I just saw Jennifer Love Hewitt, who was talking about the way he's like, stop comparing me to myself in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like,
well, that's the version people like, though.
Well, of course. She was hot.
Hot-ish. She was always too skinny and her face looked weird.
Well, she was a unique look.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying it.
She's like, I was on the cover of Maxim magazine at 17 and had no idea why. I mean, I guess now she's learned, and it's not a good reason because, guys are all like, that's the reason
best
why.
Reason, man. That's the best reason right there.
In whatever movie, then she said that she was doing like at 17, 18, and the director's just like, be sexier.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, here, let me show you.
Right, exactly. That is, that's how you go down that. And No Beret agrees. Jennifer Love Hewitt is so hot.
It's just not hot.
Well, it's that combination of cute and stacked.
Let's put it this way. She's no Denise Richards.
No, I mean, Denise Richards also crazy, though.
But Denise Richards back in her 20s. Dude.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Exactly. We've been watching a bunch of these Hallmark Christmas movies, and the casts overall are not all that attractive. It's interesting, but there's one actress, her name's Merritt Patterson, who is just hot and adorable, and like, okay, I'll watch all of those. That's all you need is one cute blonde. That's all you need. I mean, maybe two would be nice.
Well,
or three. And she is a year younger than Taylor Swift, so I'm getting more age appropriate.
Denise Richards is?
Now she has to be close to our age. She's got to be like 50.
She was born in February of 71.
Like I said, got to be around 50.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in April of 70.
Yeah. So she's getting up there in the years, But yeah, the way that it's not just the way she looked. There's a difference between seeing a photo of her, which also looked amazingly hot, but watching her in video, she knew what to do with her face and her body to maximize and accentuate sexuality. I mean, slow movements, those sort of half eye kind of, corner of the eye looks that she would give. I find it hard to think of anyone from that period. So it would have been the early 90s who was hotter than her.
Pfeiffer says calling Jennifer Love Hewitt in her prime is the gayest thing I've heard today.
Well, you would know.
Exactly. And Jamie Presley and Joe Dirt. Jamie Presley has a weird face to her.
I like Jamie Presley, but again, on a level, she is definitely a step below Denise Richards.
No Beret says Yvonne Craig. Oh, yeah. I mean, Batgirl. It's hard to beat Batgirl.
Wait, you're talking now. This is going a little further back before the 70s.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, as far. But have we? Yeah, I guess we did see her without the mask on. I was going to say, did we ever see her without a mask on? We did.
And most of these are in the 80s. Like DigiGuru says, check out Jennifer Love Hewitt in the movie Heartbreakers. Hubba Hubba. I remember when that was out. That had to be when I was working in the mall because it was one of the posters in the mall that I kept walking by. And it's like, oh, yes, she's somewhat attractive. Now, isn't she?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's how they make money as actresses. Now, no, we have DEI. We want ugly actors and actresses.
Well, that's
the only
not going to
fair
last
thing.
because the AI can make some beautiful, beautiful women.
Yeah, you just snap your fingers and there's new actresses.
Yeah. And they're better than the last batch.
No Beret says some of us were alive before the 1970s. Well, that's nobody on this show, No Beret.
I mean, just because we were alive doesn't mean that we're talking about. Remember, the topic was Jennifer Love Hewitt, and is she hot or not?
Yeah.
And comparing her to people that are her mother's age
is not fair.
I mean, I guess you can, but I don't know.
And also, who's going to be the next huge music star? And I think the whole Swift thing is going against everything I would have predicted.
You remember her
music.
on Seinfeld?
Seinfeld? Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Denise Richards.
What did she play in Seinfeld? I remember
a daughter.
Oh yes, of the studio
the sexy
head.
daughter.
Yeah, yeah, a little cleavage, Costanza. Yeah, I mean the wrong thing there is that was again a case of here's my 15-year-old daughter, and here comes in Denise Richards, who's already like 20.
Yeah, she was at that point. She would have been 22.
It's like that is not 15. 22 at Denise Richards level is not 15 for anybody.
22 at Denise Richards level is 1 year before perfection, and there are no women of any age that compete with that.
No, so it's like that was just completely unfair, but very similar to Two and a Half Men had their moment like that when a very young Megan Fox, early in her career, plays Berta's granddaughter.
Yeah.
And like Jake walking into walls and stuff. It's like, yeah. Sorry, guys are not all that hard to predict.
Yeah. You remember Wild Things?
Oh, yeah. Denise Richards and Nev Campbell, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the movie poster for that one, again, was all you really needed.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically just, girls fighting in a pool.
Yeah.
What else? What else do you need to say about it?
See, Brooklyn 112 says, I'm so horny now. That's exactly what Unrelenting does to everybody that listens. It's just like you start listening to Unrelenting. By the end, you're like, damn, I'm feeling a little hot and bothered.
Yeah, it's I don't even know what we're talking about at this point because I'm watching videos.
Gene's already deep into his collection.
I'm sorry, guys. This is just Wild Things just brings back memories. That's all.
Yeah. Now, when was Wild Things? That was like 90?
98.
Yeah. Okay.
98. Yeah. It was later than I thought. I thought it was in the mid 90s. It's actually 98.
Sounds about right.
It came out almost a year, I think, away from Starship Troopers, which I thought there was more time between those movies, but apparently not. Which she was great in Starship Troopers too. Just very clean, wholesome, perky pilot.
Now all these things will be remade, but they'll all be woke. That's why you have to buy all of the stuff that you want or download or buy the actual discs. So that way things can't be edited out, because there's a lot of stuff that was in movies when we were growing up that were like the classic movies, like the Porky's and the Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Is anything like that still being made? Is there anything like this that is still coming out into the, well, not just theaters, but
no, because now, 12-year-olds have access to OnlyFans.
Right. It's like, so why would we even watch? They're like, screw Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's not even titillating anymore.
No. Like if Basic Instinct came out today, no one would have watched it.
Nobody would have
blip on the radar.
Nobody would have paused it at that one particular frame.
Yeah. It's like, she's not wearing any underpants. Oh my God. Like, yeah. And neither do any women that are in their 20s.
They're like, back in the day, though, you couldn't stop the movie while you were watching it. Now you bring it home. And you have full control, ultra 4K, 8K.
Oh, hey, you remember Cruel Intentions?
I remember the title.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking it's not Drew Barrymore? Why?
No. It's Sarah Michelle Gellar plays the
brother and sister, right?
Chick. Yeah. And then Reese Witherspoon was like the innocent chick that they had a bet that they could, manipulate into
a thing. Yeah, Reese was hot back in the day.
Yeah, well, Reese was always a little weird looking.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Hey, even more so, I would say. She had that weird chin thing, like she's related to Jay Leno. And but she was cute enough. She had a good body. But Sarah Michelle Gellar just got off of doing Buffy. And so she was no longer a teenager, and this was a role where she was getting to play a just past teenage college student who was really into the whole, rich person, lots of money, and kinky sex.
And who isn't really into that?
Well, I mean, there are limits most people would have, because if you start going too deep into the rich person kinky things, you end up on a certain
Epstein
island south of Florida.
You're on a list.
I'm just saying there's I can honestly say I have nothing to fear on that count. Never been there. I have no intention of ever showing up on any lists.
Well, not with your real name. Johnny Danger. That'll be something that'll show up.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
On the
Danger Day.
Code names day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what the 80s, 90s. I mean, hell, Tiffany did Playboy. Remember? That was like, I want to break free of my image
I wanna break free. Yeah. Oh no, that was Queen.
Yeah, different song. And Tiffany became big singing other people's songs, and that's fine because that's what every country artist does.
Yeah. Tiffany I never really got into Tiffany that much. She was just kind of like a meme, really, for the day. It was like, oh, look at this young teenager pop star getting popular.
I mean, she was no Debbie Gibson. Malls. Right. No, she was no Debbie Gibson.
Debbie Gibson was a lot better a musician, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, she was a writer and more talented, I think.
Yeah, I think she's definitely more talented.
But I did love the takeoff. Do you watch How I Met Your Mother, the original series, not How I Met Your Father, which sucked, but the whole Robin Sparkles
Robin backstory was very much that. Yeah.
It was beautifully done.
It was. It was an homage. They weren't making fun of it as much as just doing an homage to it.
Oh, see Brooklyn, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Yeah. Yeah, remember Kelly Kapowski?
Weird face.
Yeah.
And she did not age well. I think there was a very, very short couple of year period where she was at her peak. But man, she started, even during Buffy, started going downhill.
Then who was the other one that was in, was she in Baywatch and then in Nash Bridges? What was
thinking of?
The one. In Nash
the
Bridges.
Blonde?
No, brunette.
I don't know who you're thinking of.
I mean, somebody in the troll room would have to. It's what they're good for. I mean, or is there anybody in the X chat? I mean, that's
X chat. Go tell us what Darren thinks he's thinking of.
Yeah, was it Yasmin Bleeth?
I vaguely remember her. I can't really picture.
I mean, until you finish typing that into your search engine, then you'll be able to picture just fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, now I remember her. Okay, so she has a very similar face to Tiffany Amber.
Yes.
Like she's got that. It's not a face that I find particularly attractive. It's a little too wide in the jaw.
This one's too wide. Gene is rejecting. No, do not let her in. Do not pass the velvet rope. No.
Well, the reality is everybody thinks that some chick that they really liked when they were a teenager on TV is a 10. The reality is most of them are 8s or 9s. There are very few actual 10s.
Is it bad that Sir Bemrose says he feels more of a degenerate listening to this show than when he looks at porn?
I think it's about time he started feeling something down there.
See, if people think we have that kind of stuff planned out. No.
We're just that good.